Namaste and welcome to yet another video from Life Naturals. Today's topic where atoms meet the soul. A very different topic indeed. We have always made videos on topics related to health. How is this related to health? So, of course, it is because health is not only the physical body, it is more related to the mind. A peaceful and happy mind gives a body a solid and a strong foundation and backing for positive health. So, this is a very small attempt from my side, projecting the way, the flow I have found the things to be in so many years of my life. A big thank you to my mother who maybe introduced me, I can say, to this kind of concept. She was a double MS in genetics. Being a highly educated woman and having a very good career. When she used to think of all the concepts of science and spirituality, and maybe because she knew science so well, she could just link everything together and see things in clear light. Over a period of so many years, maybe I tended to pick up few things, think over it logically, and go ahead. This helped me solve many problems in my life, and the improvement in my mind, the mental peace, the calmness, the control of the anxiety, somewhere resulted in a very positive physical body as well. While following naturopathy, the mind support was really huge, which helped the body to remain detoxified and indeed increasing the health level. So this session is a small attempt from my side to just put forth the facts. Maybe I saw the way I saw them in so many years of my lifespan. So the first question we start with is: are science and spirituality the same things or different? Usually, science and spirituality, we just bifurcate them in two things and see two different uh, subjects. Now, usually we think spirituality as more of orthodox and science as more of practical. So, let us go step by step into these two subjects and try to analyze it in a more logical way. Let us start from physics. The most common known law of universal energy. So physics talks about the universal energy. It says that it is a life force that exists everywhere, and it is present in universe, between the galaxies, molecules. It is present in the space. Maybe that was the Big Bang theory states that there was a blast of energy, and through which all these planetary systems and the universe was created. So physics talks a lot about universal energy. It says that energy is the ability to work. If there is some output that has to be given, energy has to work, and this energy is present in the universe. So there are so many forms of energy. It simply divides the universal energy in so many forms and explains that how this energy shows its working, it manifests itself in these different forms. So basically, it's the world. Let us go through the world around us. So, what is the universe made up of? Again, it is explained by physics. Aristotle gave the theory of five elements. So, these are the universe is made up of five physical elements. These elements are the base on which it is created. So, it's a part of philosophy as well as scientific traditions. It is not only a part of philosophy, it is the understanding of the universe that's based on the five elements. So everything that surrounds us is made up of five elements. Now, every matter and every phenomena that we see around us is five elements. For example, you stand in the window and see a beautiful rainbow. Again, a combination of five elements: the fire element, sunlight, and water combining together in some way, and the beautiful rainbow is painted on the canvas of space. The Akash Tattva, the space, again is one of the five elements. So anything that you see, anything that exists around you, and anything that happens around you is a combination of five elements together. Now, everything including us, of course, we are living organisms, so everything including us, living and non-living. You have a phone on which you are watching this video. It is made up of five elements. Or you have a laptop. It is made up of five elements. You're sitting on a chair. You have kept the laptop on a desk. The chair and desk are made up of five elements. The house that you stay in, everything that surrounds you, including you, is made up of five elements. So the world around us can only be described as made up of the five elements of nature, like Aristotle says. Now it's living and non-living. So the raw material is same. You are living. Your phone is non-living. Your laptop is non-living. The chair, table, the floor, the house is supposed to be non-living. So, but the raw material is the same, right? Like we said, living organisms and non-living organisms both are made up of the five elements. So the fundamental base is the same. So what makes you different from your phone or laptop or chair and table or your car, which also is a non-living thing? So there is some difference, right, between you and the other things, the other non-living things that exist around you. What is the difference? You can walk, run, you're digesting, you're breathing, you're thinking. So there can be a robot that can be designed which can walk and run, but there has to be a battery inside the robot supplying the energy so that these movements can be possible, right? A robot made up of five elements cannot function. There has to be a source of a battery, a power supply. Other than that, you can digest the food. You are breathing. You can think. You have feelings. You can feel the pain. You can feel the happiness, sadness. I'm in a very good mood. I'm in a low mood. These are the feelings that are there, which are not present in the non-living things. So why is this happening? Why does this difference exist between the non-living things and you as a living organism? This is, again, physics explains the reason for this as energy is the ability to do work. That is what we saw in the last slide. So this energy is present and it is working on the five elements that your body is made up of. So you can walk, run, digest, breathe, think, feel, and do everything else that a non-living thing cannot do because the energy is at work, right? A robot can also walk and run, but the energy has to be at work. Then the movement is possible. So basically, energy is the ability to work, give some output. So in simple words, living beings are five elements plus energy, and non-living things are five elements minus the energy. So the universal energy, if it exists, work is possible. Where it doesn't exist, work is not possible. So that is a fundamental difference between you and the non-living things. Now we come to a simple equation that we can derive from this, the equation of living organisms, right? You are a living organism. So all the living organisms, the 84 lakh species, living species in this world are made up of two things, the five elements, yes, space, air, fire, water, and earth. So in simple, water, 80% of the body is made up of water, 80% earth is covered by water. So anything, all the concepts merge with each other. There is no distinction. So we are also made up of space, air, fire, water, and earth, like Aristotle says. Everything is made. And then there is a universal energy. So in simple words, body's energy that we talk about. You should have energy. You should have energy to perform activities. Otherwise, you'll be sleeping on the bed. That is what we keep on listening since our childhood. What is that? What is this energy? It is the body's energy. How does your body obtain the energy? From breakdown of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats mainly. These are the main three important sources of energy to the body. Now, this is the state today when you have a independently functioning body. You are an adult, you have been doing so many activities since your childhood. The body is used to converting this energy and everything. Now, let us understand this concept going one step ahead, considering the law of conversion of energy in physics. So, physics says energy cannot be created nor destroyed. That is the first thing, first important thing to remember. But it can be converted. You cannot create, you cannot destroy, you can convert the energy. It's a simple concept explaining why your car runs. Your car is also made up of the five elements, but unless and until you put some fuel in it, it is not going to run on the road. It is a dead machine made up of five elements. Now, there are so many types of fuel. Whatever the fuel you are putting, if you're putting the petrol in your car, the petrol has energy in it. The car is converting that energy into a usable form and it is able to run on the road. So it said this. It is just proving the law of physics that says energy cannot be created. Your car cannot create energy. It can convert the existing energy to a usable form. Now, the same thing with the body. My body, your body cannot produce energy because energy cannot be created. That is the first law of physics. It can convert. Of course, it can convert because the body also cannot create energy. It cannot produce from scratch. It can convert. So to get this energy, what do you do as a human being? Yes, you eat your food. You eat nutritious food. You eat live food. You don't keep on eating junk food, right? That is what we are told. Don't have junk food. No life. Processed food doesn't have life. It is going to destroy your health. Eat more of vegetable fruits, salads, nuts, grains, live food. Everything is living. A carrot that is grown on a tree has life in it. The tree is a living organism out of the 84 lakh species. That is one, like we are one, right? So, vegetable, fruits, salads, nuts, all these things have energy in them. The body is taking it in, it is converting it into the usable form. The conversion mechanism is digestion, absorption, assimilation. This is how the digestive system works. And the digestion process is the conversion mechanism. The energy already is existing in your food that is simply converted into a form that the body can use as a energy source, right? So the law of energy that physics mentions, it 100% fits into what your body is doing, right? It doesn't conflict any laws of physics here. So the energy available for the body is used to work, to give some output from the body, whether you want to walk, run, think, write, listen, talk, energy is used. So this energy is the ability to work. And because that energy is present, you can do so many things using your body. Simple. Let's go one step ahead in this. But this, all the conversion process, the food that we eat, this is as of now. Where did this all begin? Is the question. Just rewind the tape, rewind the timeline, and let's check where did it all begin? Where did you come into existence? So, whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, whatever your age is, when did you come into existence? Is it your birth, the birth date, or before that? So the answer to this question is in your mother's womb, right? You became a living organism in your mother's womb. You were living before you took birth, right? You didn't start your life the moment you were born. You were a living organism even before that in your mother's womb. Now, yes, around that 3 weeks of time when the heart heart started beating. It's so beautiful that the first organ that is created is the heart, and the first organ that starts functioning is the heart. With that little small tiny fetus inside, the heart starts beating as the first thing. Now, when this heart starts beating, some power supply is given to that. The universal energy somehow finds the way to enter the living organism. Some transition happens, some change in form. It is converted, because energy can be converted from one form to another. It simply takes the form of something else, and the heart starts beating in the mother's womb, and there life is created. That is the time when a small, tiny fetus becomes a living organism inside the mother's stomach. Why? Again, because energy is the ability to work. And when this energy starts working in the heart, it starts pumping the heart, it starts its creation process of so much of organ system. The entire baby is created and developed and formed. And when the baby becomes independent, it comes at a stage where it can what convert its own energy and use it for its growth. It just comes out of the mother's body, and that is when we were born, right? The process started so many months before our birth time, that life entered, and were turned into a living organism because of the energy that has the ability to work. Simple. So now, the next question. There is one question still left in that process. How does the universal energy enter the mother's womb, and then where does it go after death? This is one question that where science ends. This is the one question we cannot really explain with science. Where does the energy come from in the mother's womb? How does it enter? And while a person is dead, few seconds, few minutes prior to the death, the five elements are still there. The breath is going on. Everything is there. What happens that the body and mind stops functioning and the person is dead? This is the question we really get stuck on. And here we come across another very famous saying, where science ends, religion starts. So science ends at this question, and spirituality starts by asking this question. You're getting it? Whatever we see with the eyes, we can grasp with the mind, we can put in words. This is a part of science. Physics, chemistry, biology, all the sciences, right? The thing is, what we can see, we can feel, we can grasp in these sciences, physics, chemistry, biology, so many people, or I can say maximum people, find it so difficult to grasp. They are difficult, right? The understanding the laws and understanding the core concepts of sciences are really difficult. It is the really effort of so many years that you have to cross to understand science. But the end point of science is the starting point of spirituality. What science goes so difficult, how can we understand the science of spirituality so easily, where the starting point is so high? Getting it? So that is why we find the concepts of spirituality very, very messy, or sometimes very orthodox, or sometimes just they are mentioned for no reason. We just cannot interpret them because the starting point is so high. So now, again, if we continue on the law of conversion of energy that physics talks about, so energy cannot be converted, created, nor destroyed. It can be converted. What science mentions is 3 points. When it talks about universal energy, physics mentions 3 characteristics of the universal energy, which are very much proven. So there is no conflict in opinion about whether this is true or no, because it is proven as a part of physics, basically. So science says that universal energy, first, it cannot be created. Second, You and I cannot destroy it. And third, but it can be converted. Cannot be created, cannot be destroyed, it can be converted. And of course, this law just continues saying that at any point in time, the universal energy remains the same. But I have not put it here because we don't need it to, understand the concepts of science and spirituality. So we have not taken that into consideration. So for now, three things: created, destroyed, and converted. Now, how spirituality mentions it? You're getting it. There are two subjects. One we call as science, and second we call it spirituality. There are two subjects. Both talk about the universal energy. Both mention the characteristics, the same concepts in a different language. You're getting the language. I'm speaking English. I can use Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, or I can speak Chinese, Japanese, German. But the thing that I want to communicate will still remain the same. The language, the words used for communication can be different. So when we go towards the subject of spirituality, it mentions the same thing with using different words. When spirituality talks of universal energy, it will use the word as soul, pointing to that energy that is present inside, which started functioning when you were in your mother's womb and which is going to function till the time of death. And once the universal, the energy will leave, will stop its work, the five elements are of no use. They are just going to get decayed and they will merge back into the five elements, right? So spirituality mentions it. The word that they use is soul. Don't get confused in the words. Don't get stuck on the name that each subject has given the same concept. It's soul. Physics says it cannot be created. Spirituality says you are not born. Cannot be destroyed. You cannot die. The soul, it is pointing to the soul. The soul cannot be born. It doesn't have any birth. It cannot die. It takes different forms. That is what physics says. It can be converted. It takes different forms. This is this form, this body, that looks, that kind of hair and everything. Next time, it will take a different form. But at any point in time, the universal energy remains the same. So, soul also has the exact definition of the universal energy that physics points at. So, let's not get stuck in the words that both the subjects are using. The concept is the same. Spirituality is not pointing to anything different than the mention of universal energy as a basic source of living organisms. What is that? It's life. That is what they say. And so, like we saw where science and religion starts, so where science ends at this point, spirituality starts by just converting the name of universal energy to soul and mentioning the same facts that are mentioned in physics. And then it takes next steps towards explaining the next transits that are what that are we cannot see. I cannot say that that are seen, but that exists. So where science and spirituality starts, it's simple. What spirituality will say is, this is a human, this is you. For example, it is you. So imagine yourself now. So you are made, are you made only of physical body? Then no. A human being is a combination of three things. So body, mind, soul. Again, soul. Don't get trapped in the word. This is the life force that we are talking about, because of which you are the living organism. You're not a non-living thing. You're a living organism because you have a life. You have that universal energy functioning inside you, which is working and using the body and mind and making it work. So as a human being, can you feel you have a physical body? Can you identify something like a body? I have a physical body. So yes, you can feel your physical body. It's my hand, it's my face, these are my hair. So I can touch, I can show, I can see. I have physical body. So as a human being, you can feel the existence of your physical body. Now, what about the mind? Can you feel the existence of your mind? There are thoughts. You can feel the existence of your emotions. You can feel when you're sad. You know when you're happy. You can identify, you can feel the thoughts going on, what your mind is thinking, what it is telling you. It is telling you to listen, it is telling you to think. When what we are talking in this session, the mind is logically trying to unfold things. So you can feel the existence of your mind as well. The entire question that arises is whether you can feel the existence of this universal energy inside you. The main question that spirituality asks is, do you feel the existence of the universal energy inside you, which is using the body made up of five elements and because of which the mind is existing? Right? Because the universal energy is working. So, do you feel the existence of this universal energy? Spirituality will call it as soul. Do you feel the existence of the soul inside you? Right? But it is there, right? It is always there inside us. How come we know that? Because the energy is at work. So, as we said, where science and spirituality starts, how does the universal energy, the soul, as we call it in spirituality, enter the womb of the mother when the baby is growing, and where does it go after death? This question is unanswered. Of course, we can go ahead because even and try to answer this question also. But this is little bit beyond today's topic. Today's topic, we are just trying to understand whether science and spirituality, are we talking about the same things or two different things, because usually we conceive them as two different things. So where the question where science ends and spirituality starts is about the soul. Where does it come from and where does it go? So now, for fun's sake, before ending today's topic, just we will try to reverse, put a reverse gear and try to go backwards. So energy is the ability to do work, that is life, the life force, because of which we are living organisms, you and I, that is of course there because physics says so. So now you are living, that means you have a life. Life is the energy. Again, don't get stuck in the words. Soul is the name that spirituality calls the universal energy, the life force that is existing inside you. Now, the life is the energy, the soul. Now, so many languages will call this life force in different way. Sanskrit calls it Atman, your true self is the translation. Sanskrit calls it as Atman, but all the languages have some or the other word to describe the life force, the universal energy, or the soul. English will call it as soul, right? So don't get stuck in the words, understand the concept and logic of it. So life is the energy. Then that's the soul. The soul is working inside you, that you know, because of which the body and mind can come into existence. Once that's life force, the universal energy exists, there won't be any use of the five elements, and mind anyway won't exist because the soul, the life force, has exited the body. So soul is working inside you. Now you cannot create it because physics says that you cannot create energy, you cannot destroy it. So you cannot create it from the scratch, right? So the universal energy, you have got it from somewhere. It is there existing, and you have got it from somewhere when you were in the mother's womb, where nothing was possible, no conversion was possible for you. Some There was some point in time when the universal energy entered and it started functioning because it's the creator of everything around us. Everything in this universe is created by the universal energy. It is such a powerful thing. And it entered, and small fraction of that energy was supplied. Some battery was put inside, and the machine started working suddenly. So you got it from somewhere. And now, if you have got it from somewhere, there has to be a source to it. Edison Scientist Edison used to study Bible. And when people used to really ask him, why do you being a scientist, why are you studying Bible? He used to say that I can see the creation around me. And there is one more law, that behind every creation, there has to be a creator. So if there has to be a creator, he used to say that I want to know that who created this. I am trying to understand the creator. So basically, you have a phone, laptop, chair, table, house, floor, everything. There are so many creations around you, that so many things around you that you can see. Even if they are non-living, you know that someone has created. Even my water bottle, I have my water bottle with me. It was a gift for me. I don't know who created it, but because I have it with me, I'm using it, I'm holding it, and the water bottle exists. I know that someone has created it, because behind every creation, there has to be a creator. And then Edison used to say, who is the creator of everything, the trees and the planets and the galaxies that are functioning in this universe? Who is the creator? Because I can see the creation, the rule, the law is behind every creation. There has to be a creator. So, who is the creator of each and every living and non living thing, including me and you in the universe? Is the universal energy, which, again, don't get trapped into words, spirituality calls as God. God is nothing other than the universal energy, which is the mother of each and every creation in this universe that physics talks about.